I'm an access consciousness facilitator, and this is the Audacious Ask. And what is the Audacious Ask, you ask yourself? Well, one of the things that I've noticed is we have been programmed or conditioned to ask for way less than what's exciting for us, way less than, you know, what we can like get fired up about. It's just like, oh, well, you know, I'd like to create for this next bill. Like, oh, what would it be like if I had enough money to pay my rent? Or what would it be like if I just had enough money to pay for my kids' tuition? Or, you know, like maybe we could go on a vacation if we're lucky. And that didn't sit well with me. I was like, forget that crap. What would it be like if we could always go on vacation? And what would it be like if we always had enough money to do the stuff that's exciting and fun for us? So we have Paula. Hi, Paula. I haven't seen your face yet. What's your Audacious Ask? Oh, I'm going to unmute you. There we go. You're unmuted.
Fantastic. Kia ora, Jennifer. I'm calling in from New Zealand, so my first time on Audacious Ask.
Yay! I love your light fixture behind you.
Oh, thank you.
It's really beautiful. I loved it.
One of my little shrines, I guess, that I have around. So yeah.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
So if you could ask for anything to show up, no matter what it is, what would it be?
Wow. So what I have been pondering on and working through is next steps in career or business actualization, and I bring myself a lot to that, so I'm personally quite involved in that, so it's quite precious for me, I guess.
Nice. Nice.
Yes. Nice. So how am I showing up in my world, and how do I want to be and to bring myself to a workplace or work forum, however that might be.
Cool. Cool. And so thinking about everything you've ever done for money in this lifetime or any other lifetime, what's the coolest thing that you've ever been paid for?
Well, I love what I do. So a couple of things went through my mind is working with people, being with people. One of the coolest things I ever did was work for Club Mediterranee, which is a holiday resort. So that was
nice.
Yeah, that was fun, funky, you know, beautiful beaches and great environment. And
okay, so check and see where that shows up in your body, where you're thinking about what you did for them. Okay, where's that showing up?
Mostly the heart, a little bit of the front of the gut. Yeah.
Nice, nice. So solar plexus and heart then?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Maybe a little deeper than solar plexus.
Okay. Yeah. So like your Kundalini chakras? Yeah. So creative and heart. Yeah. Nice. I love that. So if you could choose a business going forward, those would be the things that I would be asking for to show up. It's like, how can I get paid really well to use loving what I do and loving the people, and then also a huge creative capacity? Because I think what might happen for someone who is so heart focused is you end up in a job where people will take advantage of that heart focus, but they won't give you enough creative capacity. So that's something. What have you experienced that, yeah, what are you really asking for? It feels like there's another question underneath.
So I'm self-employed, and I have been for a number of years, and I love what I do. I'm a coach, a trainer, and a consultant. Yeah. And I get to manifest that.
In what capacity? For business or health?
Communications. I work with people at personal coaching level. So what you were talking about earlier with Suzanne really resonates with me a lot, about the body, mind, and tapping into, you know, being more grounded in their own inner intelligence in a personal frame. But also work in business in sort of HR areas. So strategic planning, team building, and performance appraisal kind of stuff. and I'm a trustee on a couple of community organisations. So I really enjoy working at that management governance level as well. I love the oversight and the ability to influence organisations usefully and positively.
Cool. And so thinking about your working with people versus working with business, ideally, what would the ratio be for you?
Between the two?
Yeah, ask your body.
I kind of get 80-20, but I'm not sure which way.
Oh, okay, well, ask again. 80% who? People or business?
Because when I work with business, it's connecting with people as well, you know, so yeah. I really enjoy being able to empower people in the workplace.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And what are you not creating that you would like to have show up right now?
Feeling like, so the last 2 years I've really been, sorry.
Yeah, that's your real question. What's that?
So the last 2 years I've been rebuilding my life.
Mm-hmm.
After separating unexpectedly from my husband of 23 years. And so I've taken the last 2 years to really work on myself and done a lot of healing. And feeling really ready now to start expanding again out into the wider world and bringing my resources and contributions to the world, and you know, I vibe off that, so that's really good. Mm-hmm. It's a question of how, and I've relocated from a small town to Auckland, which is our largest city in New Zealand.
Yep.
And a little bit, and I really totally feel this is the right place for me to be right now. Yeah, on the other hand, it kind of feels like playing on the freeway when I'm been used to country roads, you know. Yeah. Cool. I have recognition in the provinces where I've done a lot of my work, and I have good reputation, and so that opens doors and generates work. But I'm feeling like that's keeping me away from what I need to be doing for now and going forward. So how do I bring myself to this wider world? And, you know, I guess that brings up vulnerability, because to my mind so far, that means putting myself out there into new contexts, new environments, and not being sure of risk, I guess.
I love it. I love it. So maybe you'll notice when you watch this again, Paula, you allowed yourself to be vulnerable for probably 3 seconds.
That long?
3 whole seconds, 3 Mississippis. I'm not really sure how they do it in Australia or New Zealand. It's probably 1 Malulaba, 2 Malulaba. So let's have a look at that. So what is being vulnerable to you? No right answer.
What does it mean for me? Being vulnerable is being willing to express your true self.
Okay. It's pretty academic. Put your hand on your heart. Tell me what your body has to say. That. What's that?
Just to be me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So how many lifetimes has it been 100% safe for you to be you? No right answer.
I guess every time and no time. There's always risk, isn't there?
There is. There is.
But it's all beyond that. It's always okay.
It is. And here's the cool thing. Here's the cool thing. So when we have all these barriers up, protecting us from people telling us that we're no good, that, you know, we're not smart, we're not beautiful, we're not talented, we're not whatever. What happens is they distort reality. So if you imagine that they're like a fuzzy glass, So many layers of fuzzy glass between us and what's actually showing up for us, then we can't actually be aware of what is showing up for us. And so just for example, when Sally was talking about her mom, when she lowered her barrier, she was actually able to receive her mom, and it wasn't a terrible unkindness to receive her mom. And so when the barriers are actually what, this is my point of view, the barriers are what causes the pain.
Yeah.
And so when we aren't resisting what's coming, we can be just like, well, yeah. I mean, of course that person's an asshole. And it has absolutely nothing to do with me or you. When somebody's an asshole, it's just, you know, they're an asshole. And it's not a judgment, it's an awareness. It's like, you know, how many times does somebody need to be an asshole to you before they're just an asshole?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, there's only so many low blood sugar moments that people are allowed to have. And then it's like, wait a minute, the last 3 times I had anything to do with this person, they were a complete jerk to me. Is it me or is it them? And what does it matter? Sometimes it's the alchemy of you and that person. I always joke that biscuits and pancakes have the same ingredients. And so, you know, they just have them in different proportions. So do you want pancakes or do you want biscuits? And it doesn't actually matter. It's just like, okay, well, the alchemy that person and I can create together isn't something that's going to work for me. And so when we allow ourselves to be completely vulnerable, it doesn't mean that we're weak or pale or pasty or defenseless. It's just we have no barriers. We're just like, okay, cool. Hi. Yeah. And if it turns out that, you know, they're really gunning for you, you're going to know faster when you're vulnerable and your barriers are down than when you have barriers of, oh, I don't know, I'm supposed to pay attention to this person, they're the experts, you know, or money. Oh my God, they might like have a contract for you or with you. They might want to employ you. You know, so if you're willing to just be like, hey, hi, with no barriers with people and be completely vulnerable, I wonder what could happen.
Yeah.
So let's tap into your body. Let's play with the vulnerability and see if we can turn it up a little bit and peel off some of the layers of who you are with vulnerability. So who are you with regards to vulnerability? No right or wrong answer.
So where I went and my body was to small child.
Okay. How old?
Probably 5 or 6 maybe.
Okay. And so everything that is, everywhere that's locked into your body, in any lifetime, that vulnerability means you're a child, or that children are vulnerable. Will you destroy and uncreate it?
You're inviting me to do that?
Yes, I'd love you to. You think you can?
I can be open to it.
Okay, good. Have you heard the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement yet?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I'm going to say it, and then I'm going to invite you after you hear it to see if you feel different.
Okay.
It's good and bad, right and wrong, pot and pock, all 9, boys, shorts, and beyonds. And so what that does is it goes to the source point of where that limitation or point of view went into your body, and it begins to break it apart. There's more on that at theclearingstatement.com. And it's a piece of sort of energetic technology that Access Consciousness uses to assist bodies. It also assists with just sort of, we have these points of view, like somebody will say something about you at 4 or 5 or 6 or something around you, and you don't have the cognitive resonance to be able to say, oh, well, fuck you. So children are actually naturally egocentric anyways. They think it's their job to fix stuff, and they think that everything that's happening around them has to do with them. Yeah, so this starts to break that apart.
Fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. So let's go back to that 4 or 5 or 6-year-old. Okay. Hi. Hi. Say hi to that little person. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, there we go. All right. Anything anybody projected at you that you needed to be tough or strong, you needed to take care of stuff that wasn't your business, that you needed to take care of yourself, that you needed to be strong, that you needed to take care of stuff that wasn't your business? Well, you just let it go. Okay? Good and bad, right and wrong, POD and POC, all 9, boys, shorts, and beyonds. Awesome. Have you had any of the Access Consciousness bars or any of the body processes yet? Okay. Yeah. So Access Consciousness has a whole bunch of different branches, and one of the branches has to do with bodies. And so we're not just a transportation system for our intellect. There's a whole bunch of stuff that happens with bodies, and a lot of it can happen actually between, you know, like being in utero all the way up to now, however old you are now. And what can happen is if we have a series of traumatic events that happen like this, and we don't have you know, a way to talk about it or a way to release it, then it gets stored in the body as trauma. Yeah, and trauma can be something like, you know, your mom was just a bitch to you on the wrong day, or trauma can be, you know, real long-term abuse. And, you know, we have no way of knowing what body is going to store what trauma. And so there's about 60 different body processes. The first one that you would experience is called the bars. And it's just light touch on the head. And what it begins to do is break up these roadblocks that are in your neurons that are preventing you from releasing the electromagnetic energy of the thoughts and feelings and emotions that you've had from anything that's happened in this life. Yeah. So I'd love for you to try it.
Fantastic.
And, yeah, come back any old time. Thank you so much. I hope you feel better.
Thanks, Jennifer. I definitely will.
My pleasure, Paula.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Well, that's been our hour, everybody. So how does it get any better than that? I am off for the next 2 weeks because I am going to be in Australia, in Melbourne. Starting on the Saturday, I have a class on Saturday night, and then on Sunday and Monday nights I have a class as well, and then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I have the Access Consciousness Foundation there, which is an amazing class. Yeah, so if anybody wants to join me there, I would absolutely love it. And yeah, see you on the 18th. Ciao, guys.